For this assignment, we're going to work on adding our text. We're going to go into our game and click on in the hierarchy, click on Create, go down to UI and Text, and we're going to start with this one, and we're going to call this one our count text. And once we have that done, we're going to come down to where it says New Text, and we're going to label this as count text also. Double clicking on it over in our hierarchy, we're going to zoom out so that we can see where it's at. And then we're going to move it inside of our box until we can see it. I just changed the size so I could grab a hold of it a little bit better. I'm going to come over and change my font size, make it a little bit bigger, 20. I'm going to bold the font. I'm going to zoom in on my window here, and I'm going to move this font up to the upper left corner. And where it has the font name here, I want to change the fonts. And these fonts you can download from the project in Google Classroom. And you will, just like we've done for all of our sprites, we're going to click and drag the font that we want over into our project window. Once it's in our project window, we just click on this little picker button off to this side next to the font. And then we can select our font. And once we have our font selected, we'll double click it and our font should change. The next thing we need to do is we need to anchor this text to its location in this upper left corner. To anchor this, we're going to do it a little bit differently than we did for the 2D UFO. If you remember, we clicked on main camera and then we went down to a spot where it said constant pixel size and we changed that to scale with screen. For this one, we're going to come up to the top here, right underneath Rect Transform. We're going to click on this bullseye box and then hold down the Alt key. And while we're holding down the Alt key, we're going to go ahead and click this upper left corner so that our count text stays there. And then if it's right up against the corner, you can go ahead and click on your X and slide it over so that it fits a little bit better. Coming back into our hierarchy, we're going to duplicate that, and we're going to call this one our win text. It should have all the same qualities. Label this as win text, and then come down in text script and also type in win text. But I'm going to move this then into the center of my screen, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to change the color. And I'm going to come up and change the size and make it a little bit bigger. So here's where I have to make my box bigger because I lost some of my text. I'm going to scroll back up and click on my bullseye again. And I'm going to anchor this time by holding down the Alt key and clicking on this center box. I'm going to duplicate my count text, because this one I want to be the same size. And this one we're going to call our time text. Coming down here, we're going to name this time text also. I'm going to click on the bullseye, hold down the Alt key, and anchor it to the upper right corner. And you see there's my time text. If I click play, they all stay on the screen. So now what I need to do is I need to go click on my player, and down on my script slot, I need to drag each one of these to its corresponding part. Or if I click on the picker to the right of it, I can select each of them that way. And double click them, and there you go. We're all set. Now when we click play, we see our time counting down. We see our count at 0 until we pick something up, and our win text will display when we have hit our number that we have determined.